Thank you, and welcome. We are delighted to be here in person, which we haven't done for a few years now, and so it's just so great to see real faces, bemasked even. My name is Jillian Hawker, and I have the great honor and privilege of being the chair of the Department of Medicine. Sitting on stage here with me are the directors of the departmental divisions that your family members, your loved ones have been training with, and in the front row are their program directors who really have done all the heavy lifting with respect to the day-to-day running of the training programs here at the University of Toronto. I want to thank them, first off, for all of the hard work, and hopefully the residents and fellows will also thank them for their hard work, because it's been a very tough few years for all of you. So thank you to the program directors in particular. We obviously have a lot of people here, and it's just so great, especially the babies up there. I just do want to say, besides the fact that we are incredibly grateful to have family here to celebrate the graduation of these fine people, I do want to say that this past 2-3 years, which they've all survived, has been probably the most spectacularly difficult that any of us have had to live through. And I'm not a resident. It would have been really tough to be a resident the last couple of years. So I want to acknowledge on behalf of the department and also on the behalf of really all of us standing here how incredibly grateful we are to all of you for your hard work, your dedication, your perseverance, and really for being here. We know that this has been really, really hard. For the parents out there in particular and other loved ones, children, I really want to make sure that you acknowledge that these people have not only accomplished a tremendous amount of learning, but they have cared in a humane way for many, many, many sick patients who have needed them in their sad times. And it's been really quite horrible. So, not that training is horrible, but the pandemic is horrible. Training is wonderful, but not in a pandemic. So, with that, we are here to celebrate. And I'm going to hand over to Patricia Houston, who is our Vice Dean Education in the Temerity Faculty of Medicine, to give her remarks.
I'd just like to add to Jillian's comments how wonderful it is to be here in person, to see all of your faces, to have your family here to celebrate with us, and to really congratulate and thank you. Last week we had our first convocation for the MD program in 3 years, and it was equally inspiring just to see the wonderful faces of our medical learners and their families and friends. And I'm not suggesting you do this, don't say that it came from me, but they all took their masks off as they walked across the stage so their families could take photos. Again, didn't hear it from me.
Of course, we've got ID up here, you know. It's okay.
So good evening, and thanks again for being here tonight. My name, as you heard, is Patricia Houston. I am the Vice Dean of Medical Education at Temerity Medicine, which means that I oversee the MD and PGME programs. And it is really a great pleasure and honor for me to be here to celebrate with you the outstanding achievements of the graduates of the Department of Medicine and you that are now our newest alumni. So I'm here on behalf of Dean Trevor Young and Associate Dean Meredith Giuliani, and they are congratulating you on reaching this important milestone in your education, on your journey for lifelong learning. It's just one chapter, I hope, that will be a long and fulfilling story of learning and personal and professional growth for all of you. As you turn the page to the next stage of your journey, I hope you find yourself well-equipped. I know your training program, your teachers, your patients and their families have helped you to embrace the challenges and the joys of your chosen career path. And it has been difficult. I'm a critical care physician, And I understand how hard it's been for all of us over these past years as we've dealt with not just the usual medical problems that patients come to us with, but with COVID as well. So what you have faced over the past 2 years makes what you have done an even more remarkable achievement. I want to thank all of you and all of the faculty and preceptors for what you have done to achieve the best possible patient care and ensure that we have a functioning, even if at sometimes stretched very thin, healthcare system. So in addition to honoring our newest alumni, this is the chance for all of us to celebrate our commitment to ensuring the optimal health of patients, families, and their communities, and as well, the optimal health of our learning and working environment. We are in this together, and that is a lesson that we all learned through COVID-19 and should be a principle of our shared commitment for the future. Although there is much more work that needs to be done, Temperley Medicine has made a commitment to you and to your learning environment to make sure that we make it better. How have we done this? Well, we prioritized equity, diversity, inclusion, indigeneity, and accessibility. We've introduced a new Office of Learner Experience. We've introduced a new Professor of Learner Wellness, and we have formalized pathways for the learners to come forward to us and hopefully to trust us to disclose, discuss, and report on discrimination, harassment, and intimidation. We need to focus on learner and faculty wellness, just as we focus on patient safety and quality care. The Department of Medicine has played an important role in these efforts, from their leadership in the development of a shared framework to address learner mistreatment, to the implementation of a pathway admission program to recruit Black and Indigenous learners to internal medicine, and to the resident-led creation of guidelines, which I have read and which are amazing for inclusivity in our environment. These are but a few examples of your department's ongoing commitment and their leadership. This day is momentous not just for you and your families, but for our communities. You are a unique cohort, you that have obtained your qualifications during a period of personal and global stress that outstrips anything I've seen in my professional lifetime, and it's been a very long lifetime. So as you enter this next phase of your journey, it's important to continue to be open to the many voices that populate our shared learning, working, and living environments. Being reflective means being open to authentic exchanges, both with yourself and with others. This openness is very important to the practice of medicine. By being open-minded and reflective, we can all continue to strive to embody those characteristics that I think are very important: kindness, care, and compassion. Kindness may at times appear to be rare in our world, but we have it inside each and every one of us, and it is free. Treat your patients, your peers, and your colleagues with compassion, but also always extend it to yourself. So again, congratulations, a huge thank you. Regardless of where your future path takes you, I trust that each of you will make the best possible story. Thank you. Oh, I forgot. I had another important job, and that is to introduce our celebrity speaker, Dr. Isaac Bogosh.
This is CP24 reporting live. All right. Thank you for the invitation to speak today. I'm truly honored to address you. So residency and fellowship is finishing up at the end of the month. What a relief, and what a special time to stop and take a deep breath and think about all you've accomplished and all you've learned and all you've been through over the past few years. It's been a ride, and not necessarily a fun ride like at Canada's Wonderland, more like a turbulent and occasionally nausea-inducing ride, but it has been a ride. And, you know, it's important to touch on a few semi-related points before we really get into this. Number one, I gave a similar talk to the PGY2s at their retreat last year. Number two, I see my bosses, and my boss's bosses are here, so I'm going to cut out a lot of the swearing, but not all of it. And number three, in the spirit of placing the bottom line up front, please look out for yourselves, and please look out for each other. And be kind to yourselves and be kind to your brother and sister residents and soon-to-be fellows and soon-to-be colleagues. It's good to get that out of the way, and let's jump right in. This is the famous graduation from residency and fellowship ceremony. Amazing. A celebration is a terrific idea. I'm old, but I'm not that old. We never had this. We just finished residency and then left. Like, on June 30th, we literally walked out of the hospital door and headed to our next rotation or fellowship or job, which might have been in a different city or country. There was no fanfare, there was no celebration. We literally just left, and it was the most anticlimactic end to a whirlwind program. But I'm so glad we're here, and this is a wonderful opportunity to talk about the incredible things you've done and the incredible things you're about to do. So I'm going to structure this talk like those really uncomfortable in-person evaluations you get at the end of a rotation. Like the ones you're supposed to get, at least. You know how they talk about the Oreo cookie? Like, you hear some good stuff, then there's the things that are constructive feedback in the middle, and then at the end of it, we end on a positive note with more good stuff. And, you know, I know there's a lot of academic scholars here. I believe the correct medical education term for this is the shit sandwich. Is that right, Jillian? Right, there we go. Okay, so let's start with the good stuff. And what better place to begin than a few horror stories from residency? We all have them. Like hearing that uncomfortable hissing sound when you're doing a thoracentesis alone as a PGY1 at 3 a.m. with your thumb over the tube and your other hand on your cell phone when you're calling your senior resident. Or that beautiful champagne lumbar puncture tap that you did that looks more like a dark Shiraz rather than the crisp, clear Chardonnay. But I'm talking about a whole other type of horror story, and this is the horror story is titled, "Why Do I Only Get 2 Drink Tickets at the Resident Christmas Party?" The alternative title for this is, how the internal medicine class of 2005 ruined it for everyone. So before COVID ruined everything, there were occasional social gatherings where the hospital and the university would rent out a nice venue, they'd treat you all to a lovely dinner in exchange for you working, you know, incomprehensible hours under duress for compensation that violates the Geneva Convention. It's a fair deal, fair deal. The fall and winter of 2006 were terrible. Okay, nothing compared to 2020 or 2021. But it was a bad flu year. We had tough hours. We were understaffed. It was freezing cold outside. There was no daylight. We were miserable. We'd all been working in-house 1 and 4 with no sleep for months on end. And we were getting our butts kicked. And it was tough. So it was the resident appreciation dinner in February. And this was held at a very swanky restaurant. And we were all rather excited. It turns out that this bar was absolutely magnificent. Now remember the title. Why do I only get 2 drink tickets at the Christmas party? And you can imagine in that era, there were no drink tickets. It was an honor system. So picture this combination. Open bar, swanky joint, burnt out and overworked residents. Like, this doesn't end well. Now the details are a little hazy, but I recall my co-residents, also known as my friends, lining up. Actually, many of the people on the stage were there and staff. Pointing to the very tippy top, looking for something very expensive and doing something that resembled this. And then doing it over and over again for hours. Now, rumor has it that the bar tab that night totaled something north of $10,000, and I'm not joking. And that is why you get drink tickets. Standard disclaimer about substance abuse and burnout. We're having fun. If you have issues, please get help. Okay. Rather than having any cogent segue to the middle part of the talk, let's just come out and say it. Parts of your residency stunk, like really stunk. You started off with what's already a very tough residency or fellowship program in the middle of, let's hope, what's a once-in-a-century pandemic. You already work ridiculous hours, way more than your non-medical friends. And you were denied the simple, tiny pleasures in your 5 seconds of spare time, right? A bite out with your friends, a date with your significant other, a vacation away. And the pandemic was worse for you in particular, because you just have less free time than everyone else in the first place. Then you add to that the regular stress of residency and fellowship, right? With a pandemic. seeing patients with undifferentiated medical problems. And this was in the pre-vaccine era. But you just put on your masks, your gowns, your gloves, and you took care of patients. And you know, the hospitals and your supervisors and the university really bent over backwards to balance service with education. It's pretty clear that education just isn't as good when everyone's faced with a public health and existential crisis, and you're on Zoom as well. So, you know, some of you moved here from out of town, and you knew very few people, and you were truly alone. And others of you have been in Toronto for a while, and you were still alone. And, you know, basically when you weren't on the wards, many of you were just sitting in your tiny apartment in the middle of a huge city at night, all alone, you know, ordering Uber Eats. And it was a very, very lonely time. It was a very challenging time. I'm sorry you went through all this, and some of you might still be hurting, and if you are, please reach out. Now, of course, this isn't about me, but it's no fun if we talk about how shitty your pandemic was if we don't include others. And I'm pretty sure everyone who worked in healthcare, especially those who worked on the front lines in hospitals, had a very, very rough couple of years. And you know, again, like I said, it's not about me, but I had a tough time too. Long hours, rough days, sick and dying patients, governments that keep calling but only occasionally listen, media calling all the time, and on and on and on. But still, I had some of the most incredible times as well. It's not every day you're caring for wards full of people suffering from a novel infection in the midst of what we hope is a once-in-a-century pandemic. And there's some interesting and unexpected findings, right? Anosmia, that was neat, right? Hypercoagulability, cool, that's a neat finding, right? Dexamethasone works, hooray! Now we've got Paxlovid, right? Like we were all watching and participating in science moving at breakneck pace. It was fascinating. Many of you might know Leora Day. She's a former CMR at Women's College. And she and I ran the COVID team at TGH for a while in the very early part of the pandemic. And we saw some great cases. We worked our butts off. And you know, we were treating people as best as we could. Of course, we were unvaccinated. The vaccines weren't around then. You know, you ask, oh, how did it go? And the answer is terrible, right? Many patients died. I remember we had this lovely guy in his 90s on 1 liter of nasal prongs. He was deaf as a doornail. And I remember yelling, "You've got COVID." And he says, "What?" I'm like, "You've got COVID." He says, "What's that?" I'm like, "It's kind of a big deal." Dead, okay? Next day, you know, male in his 70s, COVID positive, 3 liters of nasal prongs, looks great, dies. Woman in her 80s, every comorbidity on the planet. Delirious, she literally thought I was the Pope when I walked in the room. Dead? No, not at all. Almost made it. Every day, sick, but it looks like she was rallying. And finally, Leora and I, we had someone actually she was gonna live. Next day, dies, right? It was tough. It was really tough. And meanwhile, throughout all this, you know, you're trying to answer questions from the general public, quell anxiety, care for my outpatients, sitting on every provincial or federal panel or task force, trying to counterbalance some of the polarizing and politicizing narratives that people were spouting, you know, dealing with hospital reappointments, thanks guys, dealing with university emails, what was that? Like, and, you know, trying to also be a good dad, husband, son, brother, friend, and maybe even get some exercise. Like, it was tough. There really wasn't enough seconds in the day. But it was a tough time for everybody. You felt it, and we all felt it. Now, you know, big institutions are not warm and fuzzy, and they're not necessarily the best equipped to help and support you. But you know who is? People who work in those big institutions, right? The people on this stage. We really, really care about you. We want you to get a solid medical education. We want you to be able to achieve your goals, and we want you to be healthy and well. And it's important to remember that this is gonna be okay, right? This year's gonna be better than last year, and next year's gonna be better than this year, and even with Omicron or whatever variants are lurking. Okay, we're at the other side of the Oreo cookie. Here's the good part at the end. We'll start with a tiny bit of unsolicited advice. Just remember how amazing this is, but remember that this is just a job. It's just a job. This is a job you should be proud of. It's a job with enormous responsibility. It's a job with lifelong learning where you should continue to strive to excel, but it's still just a job. And you know what's cool in your 20s? Admitting 25 patients overnight, intubating unstable patients, managing a ballooning patient list. But you know what's cool in your 30s and for the rest of your life? Sleeping in your own bed, coaching your daughter's hockey team, taking your partner on a date. Just remember that. Be the best doctor you can be, but whatever your definition of a family is, and there are many definitions and they're all just fine, but whatever your definition of a family is, you should definitely have a family. And sometimes we use fake terms like wellness in medicine. And while wellness can be a helpful term at times, don't forget about terms that we're told not to use anymore. Terms like work-life balance and lifestyle. Don't forget those words. They're important. Have meaningful work-life balance. Have a solid lifestyle. It's important. Of course you're going to work hard. Of course you're going to take pride in your work and succeed. You're the pride and joy of the U of T's Department of Medicine. But remember, it's a job. Have a family. Have as many interests as you can outside of medicine. This job does not define you. And lastly, don't forget that COVID is one of the most significant global health emergencies that the planet's seen since World War II. This is not World War II, I get it, but it's a global, national, and local crisis by any and every metric. Social, health, economic, political. Over 40,000 Canadians have died so far, and it's been 2.5 years. For reference, 45,000 Canadians were killed in World War II over 5 years. You're a frontline healthcare worker during the biggest public health crisis anyone alive has ever seen. You are front and center, and you're leading the charge. You face challenges that no other residents and fellows have faced in any other years. It's not even a competition, but this puts SARS-1 and H1N1 to shame, and you rolled up your sleeves and did the work that needed to be done. We all have come out of this with bumps and bruises, and we all need to address this. And it's okay to bitch and complain because there was and there is a lot to complain about. But just remember where you were during the pandemic. Some people phoned it in, but you didn't. Some people's contribution was to stay at home. Lucky them, but that wasn't in your cards. Some spent their time trying to diminish the impact of COVID and complain about not being able to go to the movies or a restaurant, but you were on the wards. And some people really phoned it in when we needed them in person the most, but you didn't. You were right here. And they're gonna ask you in 10 and 20 and 30 years, where were you during the terrible pandemic of the 2020s? And you're gonna say, I was there. I was front and center caring for patients. It was rough, but I was there. You have a lot to be proud of, and everyone in this room is proud of you. And we're very proud of the work you've done over the last few years. We all know how tough it was. Thank you for all that you've done, and thank you for all that you continue to do. This is an ode to the graduating class of 2022. You're incredible people, and I wish you all enormous success in your years ahead. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. That was really lovely and moving. I'm Sarah Steed, and I'm the Associate Director of Alumni Relations at the Temerty Faculty of Medicine in the Office of Advancement. It's my pleasure to congratulate you on completing your medical training in the Department of Medicine at the University of Toronto, and to welcome you to the Temerty Medicine alumni community. I'd like to take this moment to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. It has been a remarkable and challenging 2 years, especially for those in healthcare. And we have never been more grateful for the work that you do, or more awed by your perseverance and commitment. It couldn't have been easy, and yet here you are. You've made it, and you should be so proud. I know we are. And while you may be finishing your training, this is certainly not goodbye. Some of you are already alumni of the faculty, and many of you are joining the alumni community for the very first time. This means that you are now a part of a network of more than 63,000 healthcare professionals across Canada and around the globe. Whether it's through attending lectures or reunions, or mentoring current students and trainees, volunteering on awards committees, or simply receiving our alumni newsletter and award-winning U of T Med magazine, there's something for everyone. As you embark on this next chapter in your lives, we certainly hope that you'll keep in touch with us, with U of T, the faculty, and the Department of Medicine. We want to hear from you and stay connected with what you're up to and all of your adventures in the future. There are lots of ways to stay connected, and I'll be sending you a brief follow-up later on in the week to make sure that you're connected to all of these perks and benefits at your fingertips. In the meantime, please enjoy the celebration and congratulations again on this very special milestone. And now I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Arno Kumagaji. Thank you.
Sorry, just getting organized here. This is actually the fourth live ceremony I've done since I've been vice chair. We've skipped a couple because of the pandemic. The first time I did it, I was 2 months into my job. I was given a stack of about 400 cards to read cold in terms of names of graduates. And I was so nervous that I ended up sending the cardiology program through almost twice before somebody caught me. So just to make sure. So wait a second, 1 second. Just want to make sure I'm not sending cardiology through at least twice again. So actually, I do have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Victoria Corley, who is the program director of the residency program in cardiology.
So it's my pleasure to introduce to you my newly minted colleagues in adult cardiology, both residency and fellowship programs. So we start with Mina Georgis. George Hanna. Spencer Lalonde. Daniel Ozier. Noman Ali. Darshan Bramblatt. Rodrigo Carrasco. Mariam Esmalzadeh. Daniel Hagemeyer. Parisa Haji Mirza Rahim Shirazi. Rachel Kraus. Deacon Lee. Gil Marcus. Anas Murdad. Cormac O'Connor. Adi Orbach. Fernando Luis Scolari. Congratulations.
Okay. The next program is Dr. Christine Song from Clinical Immunology and Allergy.
Good evening. It is with great pleasure that I congratulate our two PGY5s from Adult Clinical Immunology and Allergy, Dr. Babak Abarumand. And Dr. Dennis Wong. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Christine. Next up is the Program Director for Clinical Pharmacology, Dr. David Yearling. Oh, sorry, Chris Lasong, 'cause DDD is the wrong. Chris, please. Okay, thank you. So next, the graduates weren't able to attend. Next is going to be, let's see, emergency medicine, Dr. Nisha Adnay. Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Kai Pardnan, sorry.
Yes, move to the front, guys. Definitely a better place. Very excited to announce the graduates of the Emergency Medicine Program and Fellowships. Dr. Shannon Chun. Oh, congratulations. Dr. Gerhard Dashi. Congratulations. Dr. Aisha Al-Subai. Dr. Sarah Hawaidi. Dr. Shu Fan Ong.
Durham. So Phil's going to do this? Phil is going to do this? So for dermatology is Dr. Philip, Dr. Vincent Piguet, who's the division chief dermatology. Get this right.
If you can give them the diplomas, I think. Yeah. So it's my pleasure to call Adel Al-Sanaid. Congratulations and thank you for your work here. Well done. Emad Bahashwan, congratulations and thank you. Thank you. Sylvia Martinez, congratulations and thank you. And Lourdes Ramirez Jovac, congratulations, thank you so much.
The next is Dr. Murray Wolfs, who's the program director for endocrinology.
It's my pleasure to announce the outstanding fellows and subspecialty residents of the Department of Endocrinology. To start, Tamina Ahmed. Congratulations. Dr. Ari Morgenthau. Congratulations. Dr. Nicole Poon, congratulations. And our fellows, Dr. Lama Amr, congratulations. And our previous resident and now fellow, Dr. Abdul Rahman Azab, congratulations. Dr. Diana Lamb, congratulations.
For the program in gastroenterology, Dr. Yvonne Say.
So it was my great pleasure and honor to say congratulations to these following residents and fellows. I work with most of them. Congratulations. First one up is Bilal Jubran. Rosanna Kiss. Heather Kosak. Cindy Law. Daniel Lowe. Omar El Koda. Mohammed El Suliami. Chinmay Bira. Andres Jose Gomez Aldana. Emmanuel Gonzalez. Haim Lebois. Barut Makinde. Congratulations to all the GI residents and fellows.
Okay, let's see. Next on the list is Tara O'Brien from the Division of General Internal Medicine.
Thank you. I'm super excited to congratulate the trainees from the GIM training program. Danielle Buell. Natalia Reiner. Congratulations. Vanessa Zanella. Tarek Abdallah. Sanya Gowrie. Sandra McHale. Chantal Sharma. I think that's it.
Next is the Division of Geriatrics, Program Director, Dr. Dov Gandel.
What a great moment. Very excited to do this and present this honor. Jenny Wang. Janice Lee. Elena Miller. And Carla Rosario.
So for the program of medical oncology, I'm sorry, infectious disease. Dr. Nisha Adnay, we're trying to get all this right.
Good evening, everybody. I'm thrilled to announce the trainees who will be graduating from infectious diseases, both residency and fellowship. Wasn't too busy for them the past year or so, but so it's my honor to introduce them. Dr. Mariah Hughes. Dr. Gadir Al-Amadi. And Dr. Abdullah Al-Sharani.
Okay. Hematology. Next is the Division of Hematology, and Dr. Cheryl Jacobin is going to be reading the names. Thank you.
I'm an honorary hematologist tonight, and I'd like to call on Dr. Renit Marcus.
For the program of internal medicine, Dr. Jeanette Gauguin.
I'm very, very proud to congratulate all of our residents leaving the core internal medicine program, be they PGY 3s or BGY 4s. First is Jonathan Besney. Second is Maxime Billick. Next is Eugene Brailovsky. Congratulations. Next is Fahid Boskander. Alicia Busha. Congratulations. Good to see you. Shubharatas Das. Congratulations again. Maya Deeb. Ian Downey. You did it. Mitchell Elliott. Love the jacket. Vivek Gowardhanam. Congratulations. Shalisa Halani. Congratulations. Nazia Hussain. Congratulations. Ashley Jensen. Rishad Khan. Congratulations. Timothy Kwok. Congratulations. Maria Lambaderas. Malcolm McKenzie. Congratulations. Jessica Mack. Congratulations. Rochelle Melvin. Congratulations. Neha Puri. Congratulations. Sharanya Ramesh. Julie Semenchuk. Congratulations, Julie. Natasha Sheikh. Aranjot Singh. Congratulations. Shamir Sohail. Congratulations. Carolyn Tan. Congratulations. Tara Tofigi. Congratulations. Augustin Toma. Congratulations. You're not on here. I don't have your things. Ariel Yeheshka. I didn't get a thing for you. Congratulations. I knew the Ariel.
Next is the Division of Nephrology. Jeffrey Schiff, Program Director.
Very delighted to congratulate our graduates, Ibrahim Al-Rawiti. I didn't recognize you at the show. Rehab Al-Bakr. Rosemary Etier. And Sarah Jadea.
Now, the Division of Neurology, Dr. David Chen, Program Director.
It's my great pleasure to introduce all our resident and fellow graduates. Some of our PGY5s couldn't be here tonight because the exam is next week, but this is for them as well. First, Arina Bingeliani. Ali Al-Asiri. Sarah Al-Najjar. Adrian Espiritu. Davud Fahi Halabat. Kuhilan Gunda. Diana Angelica Oshreska. Candace Todd. Michelle Sang. And Sakia Yasawi. Congratulations.
Next is occupational medicine.
On behalf of our small but very mighty division of occupational medicine, it is my pleasure to, on behalf of us all, congratulate Yaqub Al-Saidi.
Next is palliative medicine.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ahmed Al-Awamir. I just wanted to share with you that as a fellowship director, this is one of the most joyous moments. And I'm super excited to announce the graduation of our amazing fellows. Sofia Canales. Alejandra Ruiz Bonorosto. Merna Wasif. Thank you.
Next up is physical medicine and rehabilitation.
Good evening, everybody. It's my great pleasure to call Abir Alumni. And Hamad Al-Wachami. And Carolina Carvalho. Stephanie Jean. And Ihab Weheba.
Next up is the Division of Respiratory Medicine, Dr. Chris Lee, Program Director.
Thank you. It's a great privilege to present to you the graduates of the Division of Respirology, starting with Dr. Moayad Al-Shiri. And Dr. Fatma Fahad Al-Habib. Dr. Saleh Al-Zahrani. Dr. Jean-Philippe Louis Ambrosio. Dr. Vicky Cheng. Dr. Christian Horwath. And Dr. Ketaki Rawal.
Thanks, Chris. The next division is the Division of Rheumatology, Dana Jerome, Program Director.
Rheumatology is last but not least. It is a pleasure to introduce some of our graduating fellows. Dr. Sahar Alamadi. Dr. Ambika Gupta. Congratulations.
So this concludes the awarding of the diplomas. On behalf of the department, again, we are incredibly grateful for the effort, dedication, and compassion that you've shown over these years. As everybody has said, and as Isaac has so eloquently put it, these have been some of the most trying years in academic medicine. And you've shown a level of professionalism and dedication to your patients and each other and your professors that I would have never seen before, and hopefully will never see again to this extent. But anyway, on behalf of a grateful department, and also to the families, loved ones, partners, and friends who supported all of you through all of your work. We thank you as well, and wish to congratulate you all for this incredible achievement. Thank you very much.